Hello, TBT family. Once again, this is Morrison. All right. Sorry for the delay a little bit, but we are here once again, and this is our weekly segment at TBT, and we love each and everyone, wherever you are, wherever you're situated, whatever you're doing. May God continue watching over you. Yeah, this is Morrison, and today I will just begin with the good news, only the great news. Are you passionate? Are you willing? And you're ready to see change? Are you ready to see something happening in the world? And you are ready to tell the world the truth? TBT has a platform for you. And we are here, want to reach out to many people, want to reach out to many people with you. Or you can be part of us, or you can use this platform to tell the truth. And if you are there and you feel passionate and willing to do that, here is the deal. Here's the deal. Check out our website, www.tbtug.com, and you can actually click that like on our Facebook page, Truth Be Told Global Foundation, or go to YouTube and subscribe to Truth Be Told Global Foundation. All right, this show is brought to you by the Hassan's Design Studio. Yes, they do a lot of stuff: teardrops, banners, t-shirt design, and logos, wedding cards, branded pens, and even billboards. They do a lot of stuff. Check out on them, and yes, let's be part of this. Plus Panda Studios, they deal in videography and photography. Yes, I am delighted today to come to you live, and thanks to JCTV that are making this possible for us to reach to you. All right, so something is close to my heart today. It has been so close to my heart. Whatever you see around the world, it really baffles me. Why? Because TBT is here to relate with you, to resonate with you. We want to be part of your journey. And what is buffering me? What is bothering me? It is our relationships. Relationships. The other day, some people were laid off at work. And what happened was this team began to utter out words, asking the bosses, and why me? Why this time? We've been friends, boss. Why do you fire me? Don't you not have a family to feed? I thought we were friends. You wouldn't have done this to me. I've heard many people, families are breaking down, wrecking, because of our relationship. Relationships are not moving well or smoothly. Why? Maybe that's what we want to talk about. Because relationships are crucial. So as a team, TBT, we thought about how about we talk about it, and we just make a point to make sure that we improve our relationship best of the foundation. One of the things that we believe in is that God started these relationships. Is the initiator. You will see it in the Old Testament. In the beginning, God created relationship. He wanted to be close to man. All through the Bible, you will see that God is trying to establish a relationship. And because He wants to connect with you and me, therefore our relationships, our foundation of our relationship, be it at workplace, be it in family, be it in marriage, be it wherever, our relationship, our connection, our union, our closeness must have a foundation, none other than, not a relationship, a foundation from the one who created it. So our goal as we build our relationship today, It's our honor as TBT to reach to you and tell you the truth, because our goal is to tell the truth. We want to give you a perspective, something that's different, that if we begin to do things differently, this time it's gonna be great. It's gonna be, we're gonna sail above the storms. So what's the deal today? The deal is that we want you actually to understand that, we can love one another beyond self, beyond ourselves, beyond self, we go an extra mile in loving one another. We want ourselves to understand how God has loved us and how He has demonstrated His love to us. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. We want ourselves to understand that relationships is work. We gotta put in some work. We've got to put in some efforts. Because we cannot just sit and wait for relationships to grow. We want relationships to be exciting. We want relationship to be amazing. We want relationship to be like a roller coaster, like you're in a relationship but you're growing, you're discovering the more of yourself. So that's the goal of this session today. We don't want you to miss. Why? Because relationships are important. If they're important to God, therefore, we need to understand the concept. We need to be just aligned to that. I have just an illustration. One of the things I treasure is, you look at my hands. I have these two hands, and mine here is a stronger one. Here is a weak one. So therefore, whether it is strong and this one is weak, they both need each other. Both hands need to work together. Therefore, in a community, in a world, in a nation, we must work together. We must relate and we must connect. Look at the bees. The bees, I know they brag a lot, the bees. A bee will always look for flowers. It's an indication that we need each other. So we said at TBT, we say everyone needs everyone. Like everyone is someone's treasure. You need me, I need you. So relationship, especially in these turbulent, unprecedented times, we need each other. The world is so broken. Yes, we must agree. Everyone is down, but you must rise up. Words like thank you, words like I love you, words like I treasure you, words like I forgive you, words like I trust you, words like you're doing great, ma. I mean, like, it makes people believe in themselves, love more, and because relationships are important, we don't want to just bypass it and just pretend like the world is fine. And when relationships are strong, when relationships are healthy, the nation is healthy. The world is at peace. The world is fine, is fantastic. Therefore, relationships are just important. At the workplaces, in churches, in families, in your dating, you're in courtship, wherever you are. Therefore, remember these two things. We need to highlight the need to love one another beyond self. We need to understand how God has loved us. And we need to know that relationship is work. And healthy relationships make a great nation and the world at large. Because we need to connect. I was looking at, I was looking at a house. When you're building a house, the foundation must be strong. When you're done with the foundation, you gotta look for the bricks to build a house. The Every relationship need bricks, need cement, need everything that we use for building. For us to have a strong and healthy, long-lasting relationship, we gotta work on them each day, every day. You know, every day it should be an intentional move. So if you're there and you're waiting, a relationship, I usually talk about relationship. A relationship is like a child. If you're a husband, a wife, if you're an employee or an employer, a relationship is like a child. A child needs a mother, a child needs a father. A relationship is like a plant. A plant needs sunshine, a plant needs rain. In other words, needs water. So both roles matter in building a relationship, healthy relationships. You've seen people come at workplaces, happy or sad. You would understand that one of the reasons why this person is not happy, maybe the relationship is not doing well. You'll understand that maybe the reason they're happy, maybe the relationship is booming, it's classy. It makes them wanna discover themselves, grow and be healthy. So as we talk about relationships, I want us to see the magnitude, the weight of these relationships wherever we are. Make sure we connect with our neighbors, we connect with our landlords, we connect with our children, we connect with everyone around us. Some months back we were doing an edition about emotions drive. And one of the key things that we wanted to pull out is that we need employers and employees that can connect with their fellows. We don't want, when we leave this place, in our workplace, we don't need employees or employers. We gotta love them. We've got to connect with them. We don't need them when they have to accomplish a certain assignment. We must go an extra mile. You have a boyfriend, you have a girlfriend, you have a wife. We must go an extra mile. And in fact, we're going to unveil something at the end of, before we finish this program. And I would love to use, because God has been establishing the relationship with man. And man has been so wild, so crazy, so mad. God does this man now. You know, the relationship between God and Adam was amazing. Adam could even talk to animals, with animals, by the way. But it was, it ended in a minute, but God never gave up on man until Jesus showed up. Romans 5:8 says, but God demonstrates his own love for us in this, while we were still sinners. He did not wait for us to actually be pure. He did not wait for us to first say, let's first be clean, first be sinless. But even when we were just sinners, we were sinners, but he chose to die. That kind of love is what I'm talking about. So we're not going to judge, we're not going to blame, we're not going to criticize. We're going to love people the way they are. We're going to begin to value people. We are going to love people without strings. No strings attached, because everyone is imperfect. Everyone messes up here and there. I've seen bosses who they are never in a wrong. Oh man, we all mess up things. It is okay to say, I am sorry. It is okay to say, forgive me. It is okay to say, I will improve. Rather than becoming bossy, even in relationships, like couples, like those that are dating. It takes a courageous heart to say, I am sorry. So we can mend our relationships. We can begin to love beyond the imperfection, beyond the faults, beyond the mistakes. Some relationships, if they want to restore a relationship, someone will have to bring in the other mistake you did. When you read Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 13 talks about the real love. You know, to connect. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 4-5, it says, but because of his great love for us, God who is rich in mercy made us alive with Christ, even when we were dead in our transgressions. We were dead, but he chose to die. That goes beyond the comfort zone. He would have remained because he was comfortable. But because he wants to connect, I want you to feel the magnitude of connection, the union, that unity with the one that created us. He knows that when relationships are strong, then our lives can be better. And we're going to remember a few things. So as you build that relationship, beginning now, with your employees, with your employers, with your wives, with your husbands, with your children, boyfriends, girlfriends, business partners, associates. You gotta remember some of these. We have some few nuggets for you. And one of them is, we gotta remember that relationships, actually a relationship is a sacrifice. To relate, to connect, it's a sacrifice. Why? You know, it's worth the fruits. When you sacrifice something that I want to bring in an example of, Christ would have sacrificed something else that he could have afforded. But the only thing that was valuable to him was his body. But he had to die so that you and me can have that kind of life, that kind of amazing life, eternal life. He chose to sacrifice. He chose to die. He chose to die. That kind of amazing, it has some weight. We've got to sacrifice. It could be our time. It could be our resources. It could be anything that really we treasure, something precious. So for us to make sure that relationship grow, we've got to sacrifice. We've got to put in something that's worth your time, energy, and resource. God gave his only son. Yes, he died to see me and you redeemed. See the future, eternal life, sacrifice. You got to begin to sacrifice. It doesn't matter how much you have. No, it's not about how much you have. No. It's about how big your heart is. So if you can just begin to think about how you can sacrifice that little that you have, it could mean something, by the way. Begin to reach out, begin to give a hand to those in need, begin to pray for people, begin to be kind. You do not know. When I was coming here, someone said, Morrison, good luck. I wish you the best. I felt, wow. Because that's the kind words that you would want to give to your fellow. Amazing, amazing. So we gotta sacrifice, because what you sow today is what you reap tomorrow. So the fruits must be incredible, must be amazing, must be, great. So we gotta be kind. If you're a leader, empower. And this is very crucial, by the way. To employees, you've been working for 5, 4, 3 months, 3 years, 10 years, and you're still the same. Bosses, employees, you gotta begin empowering, improving, valuing, training your people, because these people have to grow in your hands as as they work for you, as they serve with you. They gotta make a difference. You got to make a difference in them. Now it is that relationships we've got to, for us to love, for us to relate better, we've got to know ourselves first. And this is very key. When you look into our series as TBT, we've been so intentional in helping us to discover who we are. And there's no how you can discover who you are without discovering who created you. That's very key. That's very key. We must discover who we are first. It's very key. There's no how we're going to relate, because in relating, we got to first know what we want, and therefore, who we are gives us what we want. The kind of friends, the kind of connections. I was reading a certain book, and this guy says, instead of asking them to connect you, ask them, in fact, connect with them. So you will know the kind of people to connect with if you know who you are. So as we help people to help people, whatever you pick, make sure you share it. That's what truth be told means. We don't want to be the best the best foundation. We want to be an organization, a foundation that makes a difference. Whether 2 or 3 or 4 people, 1 million people, it begins with one. Change begins with you. Therefore, our goal is to see that you know who you are, you know whose you are, and begin to do that, the so-called small things. And we always believe you cannot change the world if you have not changed yourself. And we have a belief at TBT who always say, we can use whatever we have. We can begin from where we are and do what we can. It's very crucial. So we gotta know who we are. And at this point, you know what you are created for. And who created you, and what kind of people you need to connect with, and why. You can't connect to everyone. But if you're in a position where you find yourself, you're a leader, you gotta connect with everyone. Because you'll be helping these people to become better than the way you found them. That's what Christ did with his disciples. We all know that most of them actually were fishermen, but he turned them into incredible, amazing people. Not where they changed from fishing fish